$256,476.02 US. This particular one does not have the instruction by the signatory to the account, but there was an internal memo raised by Director of Finance, Hussein Kor.
Another $54,000 US was purportedly withdrawn from the same account on the 10th of June 2015, signed by former President Jammeh. According to the particulars of the said account, the money was used to pay 20 people who are doctors and nurses, of which no single Gambian name is among them.
The next transaction was 10th June 2015, $54,600 US. So I've not seen the instruction on this transaction, $54,600. So there is, the instruction was not written formally in the letter. There was a list of names, submitted, and then below it is a pay from the Special Projects Fund, Vision 2016, which was signed by the signatory to the account.
The ex-president?
The ex-president, yes.
The most shocking revelations were withdrawals of hundreds of thousands of dollars from the Special Project Fund account well after Jammeh has left. And these withdrawals have no authorized documentations, and they were executed only by approval from the governor of the central bank.
3rd February 2016, 200,000. So that we have found the voucher of that, but we couldn't trace the instruction. But the voucher was signed by Director of Finance and another officer from Finance Department. The equivalent in dollars is $8,124,000.
The Managing Director of United Africa Group, Tony Gatters, also appeared before the Commission to clarify certain contracts between his company, Geology Department, and Environment Ministry. Ibrahim Ensane, GRTS News.
The President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Adama Barrow, extends profound gratitude to the general public for the warm welcome accorded to him and his delegation on their return from performing the pilgrimage in the holy city of Mecca. A press release from State House states that the Office of the President wished to take this opportunity to inform the general public that His Excellency the President does not intend to adopt the title of Al-Haji following the completion of the Hajj rites. According to the release, the President wished to be addressed. He had an audience with the outgoing UNICEF country representative, Sarah Bisolo Nyanti. In an interview with GRTS's Louis Mendy, after her closed-door meeting, Madam Nyanti said she was at the State House to bid farewell to the government.
The purpose of my visit today is to, on behalf of UNICEF, thank Her Excellency for the partnership we have enjoyed with her good office, and to inform her that I, as a person, will be leaving the country, be leaving the Gambia to take on a new responsibility, but to assure her of UNICEF's commitment to the children of the Gambia, and to inform her of who will be coming to replace me, and at the same time to reaffirm our commitment to the key issues affecting children, for which she has a critical role to play.
UNICEF advocates for the protection of children's rights to help them meet their basic needs and expand their opportunities to reach their full potentials, an area Madam Nyanti said the government with development partners have registered significant progress.
This year, I'm very proud to say, because a lot of the push towards this happened during my tenure, Gambia will be the first country that will be declaring open defecation free. For the countries that were implied, that were still openly defecating, Gambia will be the first in 2017 to be declared open defecation free. This is a major milestone, and I'm very proud of that. I won't be here to celebrate it with you all, but definitely I'll be with you in spirit. The Gambia has done a lot, and the Gambia has a lot more that it has to do. And I think with the support of the entire international community, the UN system, and all the sister agencies, I believe that Gambia will get to where it's supposed to be.
The outgoing UNICEF country rep said her 2-year tenure As the UNICEF ambassador to the Gambia was a fruitful one, as UNICEF and the Gambia continues to strive for the welfare of children.
The last thing we spoke about today, which was very important, is transitional justice, and how as the Gambia moves into this phase of transitional justice, speaking about the issue of truth-seeking, reconciliation, peace-building, and all of those different dimensions to transitional justice, to remember that children should be at the center.
Madam Nyanti said at the closure meeting prior to this interview, the overseer of the Vice Presidency, Madam Jallo Tambajang, said our office will continue to show solidarity with UNICEF since the survival, protection, and development of children are universal development imperatives that are integral to human progress. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
Officials of the National Water and Electricity Company on Thursday embarked on a sightseeing visit to Birkama and Kotu power stations and the Sukuta treatment plant. The visit was meant to assess the state of ongoing maintenance at the various stations after a massive encounter of power and water shortage in the Greater Banjul area. Uminjai went with the team and she prepares this report.
The Greater Banjul have been experiencing inadequate electricity and water supply, a reason that prompted the National Water and Electricity Company officials to conduct a tour to its Sukuta treatment plant, Birkama Power and Kotu power stations. The move was meant to assess the problems at the different stations. Sukuta treatment plant was the first stop. After a tour of the place, the Director of Water and Sewage Services explains the issues affecting the plant.
For the past 2 months, we have had some problems with this. You can see now we have power. But whenever power goes off, that means we cannot really use our generator. And because of that, we have this big problem with water supply. The other reason also is, at this station, we produce about 36% of the water supply, our daily water demand, which is roughly about 360,000 cubic meters of water. So imagine losing for a couple of hours every day that amount of water. So that has been really the main problem.
At the Birkama power station, the plant manager told GRTS that generator number 2 and 4 are faulty and are currently under maintenance.
The demand is too high and our capacity is a little bit low for now. That's why we are having this problem. So once all those projects realize, most likely our power sector will become better.
Mechanical engineers at the Kotu power station were also busy on the maintenance work. Here, generator number 4 is under maintenance, and according to engineer Michael Sanyang, the problem has been detected and the issue will be resolved within 24 hours.
Yeah, presently fortunately we have put back we replaced the camshaft already, and hence it moved. Immediately we got the camshaft broken. The wheel, gear wheel shifted, so it had some damage on some components. So some of those components are the ones that we have been putting together. Presently, we hope if all works well, we'll get this engine back in operation soonest tomorrow.
NAWEC Public Relations Officer had this to say at the end of the visit.
We have been saying that NAWEC lacks adequate capacity to be able to give the people of the Greater Banjul area the necessary electricity that they need, especially during the peak period. So you can imagine if 3 big engines, 1 in Kotu and 2 in Birkama power stations, are out for maintenance. These are unplanned maintenance, especially the one in Birkama that had some mechanical breakdown. You can imagine how much megawatts have been knocked out of the grid. So as a result, we have a limited capacity, and this is why our customers in the Greater Banjul area are going through these trying times of not having adequate electricity every time. It also hampers the fluctuation of water, and I think we have been telling our people that our water, especially the boreholes, are being powered by the national grid. So if we don't have enough capacity to help the boreholes evacuate the water to the treatment plant so that we can distribute to our customers, it becomes a nightmare.
Officials of NAWEC solicit the understanding of the public as they work round the clock to restore normal services. Uminjai, GRTS.
The Department of Social Welfare, together with other stakeholders, met at the Kairaba Beach Hotel on Thursday. The consultative committee meeting came up with a new child protection strategy for the Gambia. Famara Kanyi has more on that.
After a fact-finding mission in Africa and Europe, this consultative committee has come up with a comprehensive child protection strategy with the aim of reforming the Gambia's child protection system. A first of its kind in the Gambia, the 3-year action plan combined with the National Child Protection Strategy will stretch from 2016 to 2020.
The social protection policy documents are being uploaded by our development partners, especially the UN agencies, the World Bank, who are currently working with my ministry to ensure that systems are in place for the smooth implementation of the National Social Protection Agenda. I thank them profoundly for their support.
The event was graced by the overseer of the Vice Presidency, Her Excellency Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang. Madam Jallow Tambajang said the Gambia government is committed to protecting the welfare of Gambian children, putting in all possible
the plight and factor behind the invisibility and exclusion in a number of ways, including through research for effective programming, advocacy, resource mobilization, legislation, and operationalization of policies.
It is another giant step taken by the government of the Gambia in its drive to protecting the rights of children and provides them the platform to fulfill their potentials. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Famara Kanyi.
Fishermen who were on break as a result of the feast of Eid al-Adha are still yet to return to work. However, this did not in any way dampen the mood of other fishermen and fish dealers. Ibrahim Balde tells us more.
300 fishing boats usually berth here on normal fishing days. The vast majority of the boat owners are non-Gambians. Their absence has been visibly noticed by all indications. Like other fish depots in the coast, Tanje Fish Landing Site attracts a steady stream of dealers from various parts of the country. While some come here to buy fish, the vast majority are fish dealers or banabanas, as they are locally called. Ramatullah So says she comes from the Lower River region. She says she has been engaged in this business of banabanas have to contend with the stock brought by the fishermen. Chalo or bonga fish is not quite popular in several households. It is quite apparent that most of the fishermen haven't returned to work after the Tobaski break. Popular fish dealer Omar Sise is conversant with the vagaries of the weather. He said whenever there is too much rain, it is usually the bonga fish that are caught by the fishermen at sea.
Whenever there is too much rain, it normally attracts the fish to come up and access the fresh water. That's why we have a lot of bonga fish.
Contrary to people's reception towards bonga fish, Cisse said the fish is usually exported within the sub-region.
We normally export bonga to places like Nigeria, America, and other places. I am telling you this because I am a fish smoker.
We caught up with Fabakari Trawale, who said most of the bonga fish caught here are usually sold at the Gunjur Fish Factory. The price of fish usually fluctuates thanks to the change in weather. On certain days when the fishermen are inundated with fish at sea, the middlemen or banabanas are compelled to reduce the price. Ibrahim Balde, GRTS News.
The Minister of Basic and Secondary Education highlighted the need to remind the public of the importance of literacy in the development of individuals as well as communities. Claudiana Cole made these remarks in a televised speech as part of events marking World Literacy Day on the theme, Literacy in a Digital World.
I feel deeply honored and privileged to make a statement on this auspicious occasion of International Literacy Day, which falls annually on September 8th. It is an opportunity for the government, civil society, and stakeholders to highlight improvements in national and international literacy rates and reflect on the remaining literacy challenges. Fellow Gambians, this commemoration is also used to remind the general public of the importance of literacy for individuals, communities and societies, and the need for intensified efforts towards more literate societies. The theme for this year's International Literacy Day 2017 is Literacy in a Digital World. The main objectives of the team is to focus on developing effective.
President and chairperson of the African Union, Alpha Conde, has said that Africa is on track of progress and development. On that, the China Arab States Expo will further enhance its trade cooperation with Africa. Rohibite tells us more.
Southern part of China for the Xiamen BRICS Summit 2017 to the northwest part of China, Yinchuan City, is China Arab States Expo, a remarkable development in China's public diplomacy and economic cooperation. China's Yinchuan City of Ningxia Ethnic Autonomous Region is playing host to the 2017 China Arab States, and Egypt is this year's guest of honor. The expo is aimed at furthering cooperation between China and the Arab world. Currently, China is said to be the second largest trade partner with Arab states, something they hope to further expand under the Belt and Road Initiative through business promotion and development.
Under such circumstances, the Belt and Road Initiative has brought new driving force and new opportunities for countries to pursue integrated development.
With a high representation of African Arab nations at Expo, Guinean President and Chairperson of the African Union deliberating at the event recognized the key role China plays in complementing the development of Africa, saying Africa is on a track when it comes to progress.
Africa is now waking up, and it is on a track of progress and development. The miracles of China's development also benefited African countries. We are looking forward to cooperation between China and African countries.
Border e-commerce promote people-to-people exchanges aside from opening a new chapter of win-win cooperation. Rohibite, reporting for GRTS News from Yinchuan City, Ningxia Ethnic Autonomous Region, China.
We will be back with news from outside the Gambia right after this break.
Balati nijaay lii mooy son cri am ci orange am ci cocktail te nee nag nijaay benn bouteille bi mën nañ ñeer bari ko ba mu fees mënee nag ci bépp xew-xew képp kuy xew moo gën ci yow mu jël lii la mu doon ni neex na de ne res ak jàmm
Tafayam benala Axon Quick Bungan ko ame sa makkan bu magane 61 Liman Street Banjul Tegil Tega 422 7566
Over now to sports. The Sabah Sanjal Nawetan has kicked off with Ngain Sanjal and Palen Fula contesting the opening rounds of the championship. The two teams played a goalless draw in the opening game of the Nawetan. Babka Senghor tells us more.
20 teams are competing in the Sabah Sanjal Nawetan Championship. The tournament kicked off amid fanfare, as scores of football fans and local dignitaries converge on the Ngain Sanjal football field for the opening round of the championship. Ngain Sanjal and Palen Fula played out an entertaining goalless draw in the curtain raiser of the championship. Aside from its sporting significance, the tournament is meant to promote inter-community relationship and ensure the youths engage in meaningful socio-economic development through sports.
I'm really honored that they named the tournament and the trophy after me, and I rededicate it to the young people of the region. So we're going to call it the Mamadou Sabali Trophy for Youth Empowerment in Sabah Sanjal. And inshallah, it's going to be a tournament with a difference, because we're going to use a model created by Harvard University to use sports to engender a culture of youth excellence and development that entails cultural competence and also a holistic approach to development.
This tournament, according to the NAM of the area, will also help to unify the communities.
I want to thank the entire community of Sabah Sajal for supporting this venture, because youths are the cream of the country. And in my district here, we are very strong and effective youths. So if you look at the youths today, you'll be inspired by their potentials. You see the gameplay, that makes me so inspired. That's why I'm very happy, and I cannot just express this in a word.
For now, these teams will engage in what is said to be a period of intensive football in the Sabah Sanjal football.
Details in this report.
Warren Whiteley has been instrumental in changing the mindset of the Springboks. After a disastrous 2016, the 29-year-old has introduced a new sense of belief in the team, despite missing the last 3 test matches due to a hip and groin ligament injury. The Lions captain says it's been a frustrating time, but he is delighted with the turnaround from his teammates.
Started a bit of rehab this week, and hopefully I can push that forward next week. So really staying positive and also trying to stay patient, eager to get going. But it's been great watching the guys, and they've been doing phenomenally well, and that's definitely been spurring me on.
The versatile loose forward feels Yabanetsabeth as a quality leader for the men in green and gold, and believes that the culture within the squad and the mental toughness puts them in good stead for the rest of the Rugby Championship.
I believe our team environment and our culture and our way of thinking has really changed this year, and we have a lot more focus on ourselves and what we want to achieve and developing as a team, and what we want to improve and push ourselves and play against better opposition, and that's what's going to push us to excel.
Up next for the Springboks is a stern test against a wounded Wallabies outfit in Perth on Saturday, and the man with 17 tests under his belt feels that his team cannot underestimate a team who are licking their wounds and are hungry to improve.
They've been phenomenal. They've shown, in a game and a half that they're really up there, the world's best, and probably should have won the last test match against the All Blacks in New Zealand, which hasn't been done in a long time, so they're going to be raring to go.
The Springboks now enter the toughest part of the tournament with consecutive matches against 2 of the best sides in the world. A year ago, the odds would be stacked against the men in green and gold. Now it's a lot closer, with the visitors boasting a new sense of belief that could well ensure a rare victory at a venue they last triumphed at back in 2009. CS Duplessis, CGTN, Johann.
We take our second break now.
Football, football, football! The new football season is here, and QCell has a great way for fans to follow their favorite teams. QCell's Q Football gives you live updates of your favorite teams, games, including all the goals, scorers, red cards, and more. Whether your team plays in the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Europa, or the Champions League, you will never miss a moment with Q Football service. For live updates, you send your team's name to 411 during a match, and you will receive a live match event. You can also send your team's name to 511 to get 1 month news and updates as they happen. For more information, call our customer care on 111. Q Football service. Keep up with the action. Football, football, football. QCell. Sunyu Sim. Sunyu.
Welcome back, and over now to the international scene. Scores of Somali students have been chosen to further their studies in China. These scholarships are part of ongoing investments China is making in African education. A farewell ceremony for the students has been held in Mogadishu. Terry Wangari reports.
These 42 students are heading off to China to further their studies, all thanks to scholarships from the Chinese government. High-profile dignitaries such as Somalia's education minister and China's ambassador to Somalia have attended the send-off. They've highlighted the long-standing relationship between their two nations.
China has a historic relationship with Somalia. Our relationship goes back thousands of years, and it was a...
And you are families, a Chinese people. A warm welcome to you with friendship hands.
Most of the students are high school graduates who are set to pursue bachelor's degrees at various Chinese universities. Master's and PhD scholarships have also been awarded to deserving candidates. Terry Wangari, CGTN.
The African Union is calling on all member states to endorse a new initiative, the Save Schools Declaration, created back in 2015, meant to encourage countries to protect education systems when conflicts break out. Kolita Wanjohi reports from Addis Ababa.
Schools Declaration is a voluntary concept which seeks to protect schools from being used as military barracks during conflicts. Globally, 68 countries have endorsed this instrument, and 18 of these are African. But the African Union is advocating for more. The AU made the appeal during a dialogue on this declaration held in Addis Ababa.
This is a very serious issue, and we hope that everybody, either member states or other actors, should take this issue very seriously and know that we are following the matter, and whoever does not respect these rules can be brought to justice.
Save the Children International.
All state actors come to the table and understand that schools are sacrosanct. They should not be attacked.
However, even countries that have signed up to follow the set guidelines of protecting education admit during times of war, implementation is hard.
There are instances also when the community members they are the ones who attack schools. In our own situation in Liberia, we had community members who went to schools and looted libraries and looted books.
The fact that this declaration is not legally binding does not put any pressure on any state and non-state parties to comply with it. And countries in Africa that have agreed to comply with it and safeguard schools, implementing it during times of war is likely to be difficult, particularly in countries such as South Sudan, Somalia, and Nigeria. Collector Njohi for CGT.
And from that, we now join the Weather Center for the day's weather outlook. That weather report will come in our 10 p.m. news bulletin. And before we take leave of you, a recap of the Union is calling on our member states to endorse a new initiative designed to encourage countries protect education systems when conflicts break out. And China has provided scores of scholarships to Somalia as part of an ongoing education scheme. Well, viewers, that was all in this edition of the News at 10. 8 rather. Join us at 10 for another bulletin. Until then, do stay with GRTS.
New in the Gambia, enjoy high-speed internet on QCell's 4G WiMAX prepaid platform and take charge of your data usage today. QCell's 4G WiMAX prepaid pay-as-you-go solution gives you the power to control how you connect to the internet when you want at the fastest speed today. How does it work? Simple. Just sign up for the QCell 4G WiMAX, purchase the equipment, and choose from a wide range of affordable plans for your convenience. When you want to recharge, all you have to do is buy a PIN token from any QCell customer care center. Enter it via SMS or our easy-to-use web portal, and off you go. For more information, call 333-3222. That's 333-3222. QCell's 4G WiMAX prepaid broadband internet. The best just got better. QCell, Senior Boss.
Nijay, ma fi nga school fees ci Mariam bi.
Nikonga podo mabonga tani lions. Ela podo bonni podo dundi. Accounto kalangolo podo boila ponto to yake dola ponto. Talasi Express, Banco Carubela, podo ki ayaso to Gambia Carubela. Champion in financial inclusion. Ka financial services futandi mulma minya lonko ineneme yilama kabe futalema. Agency service bringing financial services to your doorstep. Reliance nyulle agentol sotalie Gambia karobela birim karton fokoina hanne atare lafta kila account ka kodo dundije waranto ka kodo bondije ila agentol be dawada birim karton fokoina ni fotata momuma eni la bankuko etol be akele yende amanjari jamfa jampasi jola kotenke agentol bali dako to abale hadamadi mo bema hani batatiji Reliance ni konga kodo mabonga ta Reliance.
We are continuing with the testimony of Mr. Jawara. We adjourned yesterday when he was explaining the transactions in the Special Project Funds Vision 2016 account, number 11030020074. Mr. Jawara, I believe the last transaction we dealt with was the transaction of 7th May, or we were about to deal with the transactions of 7th May, 2015. So can we proceed as we did yesterday by giving the basic information connected to the transaction and only expanding that information where it is necessary? All right.
Thank you very much. We will continue from where we left it yesterday. We are starting today with transaction dated 7th May 2015. So there was a debit transaction of $100,000 US. So there is an instruction signed by the former president for that value to be received by Chief of Protocol Sana Jaju. So the voucher was raised and then the amount was received by Sana Jaju. It was addressed to the governor. The next we have is 19th May 2015, $500,000 US. The instruction was signed by the former president. We have the instruction here, emanating from the office of the president. Okay. It was signed. I just saw 2 copies there, one of them not signed. That was why I was just checking. But it was signed. There's a signed copy to the governor for the equivalent amount to be received by Chief of Protocol Sana Jaju, which was duly done. The next transaction we have is 21st of May 2015.